Alright, time for a Kitsune build today. And Kitsune is one of those units that I've described as being a favourite design in the past. It definitely is very unique, but at the same time it is also pretty limited in customs. There are very few, varied builds that you can make with it. Unless anyone else has thought of some good ones that I have not thought of. So let me know in the comments if you have one that you don't think you've seen before. But today we're going to look at this one, which has a couple of conditions applied to it. So first of all, I didn't want to do Kitsune with Chimera, because those are the two units that you see together the vast majority of the time. It will be Kitsune last and Chimera fourth. So we're not going to take Chimera, but on top of that, we're also going to try and have one Kitsune feed two different units. So there are probably a few different ways you could make that happen. I'll talk about the one that I chose when we get there. And here we luckily get Hoopoe Bird from the spider, which the iguana auto snipes, and then we take out their remaining two units. So yeah, as you can see, this is from the replay system as well. So the run is going to be a bit shorter. That always happens when I have to record something off the phone, is that I suppose I could turn down the game speed, but yeah, not a big fan of doing that at this stage. So we get Hoopoe Bird again. It wouldn't have made any difference, but nice to see that the RNG is on our side. Of course, this could well have been a pack where Spider wasn't really heavily rigged, and then I went back and changed it because I was struggling. I don't really remember. This run was actually recorded in February. Nice to see someone playing Pink Robin here and Spider Crab. Two very rare units. And then I guess I'm saving all the level ups for turn 7 because I specifically want Kitsune as part of the team, even though there are potentially multiple units I could use as the other mana pet. So look at this, we get Hoopoe Bird again. It gives us a draw there, that was pretty lucky. So level up, we get Kitsune plus Turkey. So I'm just going to make sure we get as many stats onto it as possible. With it being in the backline, it's very prone to getting sniped. Even if you take Lemon or White Ochre, there's so many teams that play things like, Parrot Crocodile, or just Crocodile Tiger, or just 2 or 3 crocodiles. I think it's always good to make sure Kitsune has a head start in health to try and make sure that it doesn't get sniped. Now, I think I actually decided to keep the spider in this game. Kitsune gives mana for every friendly feint. So spider is a really good choice for a couple of reasons. Well, one is that it's an early game unit, so it's very easy to obtain. But also, you can end up getting a chain like this. So we get Anteater, which then summons another ant, and that just increases the mana that the Kitsune is outputting. Obviously, you could replace Spider with any of the decent summon pets, but I think what we're going to do here is pill the Blobfish. We actually get some free mana. And yeah, because we're on 4 hearts, I'm willing to just sacrifice a turn. Although we might actually be able to get away with a victory here. Yes, I think we will. So that just shows you the strength of Spider. You definitely don't necessarily have to replace it with a stronger summon unit. So freezing the Fairy Dust, that is going to be important. And then we're also taking the Werewolf. So Werewolf is a mana generating unit now. It only generates mana on odd turns. But I wanted to just mix in different mana units as much as possible. I think we are going to lose here. Yeah, only just. Probably should get some protective equipment on Kitsune. And then we're going to transform the Blue Whale and we get Sea Serpent. So Sea Serpent is probably the second best choice for a Kitsune team, but obviously Sea Serpent you want it to be at the front. So what we're going to do is try and have the Kitsune feed the mana to the Sea Serpent and then it jumps to the front with Fairy Dust. So I think we're actually going to rearrange. Yeah, I kind of want the Werewolf to spawn another tier 5, which could potentially spawn something else. So we could get like a slug effect, We also have Scorpion in the mix. And the Fairy Dust is also going to give us a little bit of extra mana, but on top of that, it means that the space in front of the Kitsune is vacated. So we can actually play double Sea Serpent as we finally get the White Ochre to protect it, and have one of the Sea Serpents jump out of the way and allow the Kitsune to continue feeding mana to the second Sea Serpent. Now, Sea Serpent is a really strong unit, so you definitely can find yourself suffering from success with this, where you're just beating teams before you get the combo set up. And I'll show a couple of clips at the end of other runs that happened right before this one. So we're going to go for the level up on Werewolf as well. I think level 2 Werewolf gives plus 12 mana, which is pretty tasty. And okay, it's an even turn, so we actually get the stats instead. And yeah, Serpent jumps to the front. It's not doing amazing amounts of damage at the moment, but it will increase once we get up to level 3 Kitsune. And yeah, we are going to lose again. But that's fine. We're willing to take these losses as long as we can get everything set up exactly the way we want. And here we go. We get the second Sea Serpent. So now you can see how the combo works. The first Serpent's going to get a bunch of mana, jump to the front, snipe everything, and then the second Serpent will start receiving mana as well. So the Spider is in second position because that means it can then generate extra feints for the second Serpent. Otherwise the amount of mana is going to be very, very low and you're not going to knock anything out, but you can see it works perfectly here. Unfortunately, we're actually on 9 wins already, so I buy the mana directly onto the Sea Serpent because there's a good chance we can get disrupted with this combo. I'm sure we might actually see that happen at some point here. Maybe not in this game. This might just be a case of too many stats. Yeah, the double melon. Sea Serpent in the olden days would have done damage through the melon there, but the newer one doesn't work that way, and we actually lose to the squirrel. It would be nice to have higher level Serpent here as well, of course, but you know, it's an awkward team already, and I think the double Serpent snipes, it should be good enough, especially when we get the werewolf mana. And here we go, yeah, 3 big units just completely deleted. And the second Serpent is actually going to get to snipe, but there's only 1 target left. So there we go, there's Kitsune with double Sea Serpent and Fairy Dust. And then we'll just quickly look at a couple of clips. These are actually the games that happened right before the main run. So first one, yeah, we've got the exact setup, but we face this team that has level 3 Hawk, second last. I mean, I can't think of another time when I've faced that. And we're actually going to win, but because the Hawk was in 4th position, it sniped the Sea Serpent with the Fairy Dust. So the combo was completely ruined. And then similar story here. We actually don't lose anything. It's actually Hawk and Crocodile again, which is bizarre. But Archangel here going for the achievements, it looks like, with Chimera. Unfortunately, the team was just too weak, and so we didn't get to see the combo go off in that one either.